Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah.
Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm Mama, if you don't know. Hello, everyone. I am just having a really, I don't know, I'm feeling very um disillusioned, very hopeless, kinda. Like, okay, I spent the first entire half of my day at doctor's offices. The first one was about 40 minutes from my home. Got there, it was a rheumatoid specialist, and she is fracking amazing. Okay. Um, she takes time, she goes over everything. She looks at you, makes sure that everything, if there's anything different or new. Like, she took one look at me and saw this little tiny, like, freckle mole I have on my forehead. And she was like, what is that? That's suspicious looking. And she grabs this little thing off the wall with a little light and a magnifier on it. And she looked at it real close. And I'm like, okay, you didn't even say hello, but hi, hello, welcome to my face, right? And she's like, yeah, I really want you to get that looked at. There's different stuff going on here and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, you know, better safe than sorry, whatever. No problem. Thank you for finding that. Great. Awesome. And like the difference in care from her. And this is a little tiny, dinky, like out in the country little medical center. And they bring in these specialists that they rotate in different days of the weeks so that the people out here in the country can have access to, better specialist care without having to drive an hour and a half to either of the big cities in either direction. Um, so I appreciate her. She has gone above and beyond to try to help figure out and find out what the hell was going on with me. All the different things that were going on, all these weird little symptoms that made me sound like I was crazy. Like I sounded like a hypochondriac for sure. And like I know how it sounded. I sounded like a damn drug seeker, and that isn't what I wanted. I wanted a definitive diagnosis that would hopefully have a cure or at least a treatment. And guess what? A couple months ago, she found it. And I started treatment for the psoriatic arthritis, and she's still, digging to see if there's something better that she can do to help me with my situation. Um, that to me is the work of angels because I have had such poor compassion, empathy from medical providers over the last 10 years or so. There's been a couple, like the one like my rheumatologist lady, who have really gone above and beyond and actually acted and seemed like they gave a crap. But she is number one by far. But then I went to another specialist and okay, and it doesn't sound like much, but each of these appointments are $30 out of pocket copay. $60 in one day for two doctors whenever, guess what? Payday's tomorrow. Okay. And I would have originally only had one appointment today, but they called yesterday and tried to like said that my appointment next week isn't going to work. So can you come in tomorrow, which was today? So I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to wait another 2 months to see her. So I guess I'd better go. And when you have been out of work, had your spouse out of work for like 6 months or more, $60 is like a fucking fortune right now. And I felt really guilty after remembering, that these involve copays and, you know, um, it just, and it means more whenever you have to dig deep for that money. You know what I mean? And right now, $60, we had to dig really deep. Okay. Um, so then I go to this other appointment with an orthopedic doctor. I've been there before for my knees I've got injections in my knees there. And I hurt my shoulder somehow over the summer. We were at the pool and Papa was carrying a bunch of stuff in and I was trying to help. So I was grabbing a bag, but whenever I grabbed everything out of the back of we have a minivan, I didn't have a lot of hands to like close the back, And so I tried to pull it down, but then it kind of like, stopped like before it actually closed. So I, instead of like having to pull it up and slam it again with my arms full, I stupidly like used my shoulder to like just bang it closed, And I don't know what I did, but it has been incredibly painful ever since then. And that was back in July. Well, my stubborn ass, I thought, oh, it'll get better. It'll be fine. It's probably just bruised, whatever. Maybe I just whacked something. I don't know. Um, and so I waited and I waited, thinking it would get better, and it never got any better. The pain is the exact same as it is whenever it first happened. And so I went at September 7th. I made my first appointment at the same place I go for my knees for my shoulder. And so I was there and they put an injection in it, thinking maybe that would help. Um, and it did help for like 3 days. And then the pain came right back. And it again is still the same as it was when it first happened. I can't move my arm in a lot of different ways. I can't hardly lay on it. I can't, like, I'm right-handed and it's my right arm, okay? So it's been a lot of pain and inconvenience and frustration for me. And so November 7th or September 7th, when I was there, he's like, come back in 6 weeks if it's not better. He goes, try to get some physical therapy. I'll give you an order for physical therapy and we'll see how it goes. Well, okay, physical therapy, again, is money that we don't have and haven't had. And also, I have a driver's license, but I'm not really supposed to drive because of my neuropathy in my hands and feet. I can't feel them at all. Um, so long story short, I wasn't able to get the physical therapy because I can't drive. Milo works nights and it's a whole thing. Papa, of course, now has this job and it's crazy hours. Like he worked 15 hours yesterday. Um, it's been the schedule has been completely thrown off and like I don't know what I'm supposed to do. If I can't, I can't. Um, so he sat down with me today. He walks in the room after I'm sitting in there about 20 minutes waiting. And he's like, so how's it been? And I'm like, it's been pretty terrible. It's exactly the same pain and it's not any better. And he goes, oh, well, did the shot help at all? And I was like, no. And again, told him about 3 days. And he's like, okay, well, hang on. And he's like, did you do physical therapy? And I explained I couldn't. So this is all like a span of about 15 or 20 seconds. Okay. He gets up, walks out, comes back a few minutes later with a couple sheets of paper with some stuff on it and this yellow plastic rubbery looking thing. And he's like, well, this is a really great band. And these are some exercises you can do at home to help your shoulder. And I'm like, looking at the pictures of what they, like the showing what they want us to do. And I'm like, I don't, like to myself, I'm thinking, I can't move my arm that way. Like, I can't do like 80% of these because I literally cannot move my arm that way without feeling like someone is stabbing a knife up under my shoulder bone. Um, it's, I didn't even have words. And so he's like, okay, do this and all that stuff. And, yeah, that'll be great. And you come, but here's the thing. Last time I was there in September, he told me to come back in 6 weeks if it's not better. I didn't I didn't go back in 6 weeks. I waited because I was like, okay, this has got to be getting better, right? It has to get better. No, I waited a full 10 weeks before I made another appointment to see him because it isn't any better. And he's just like, yeah, it's too early for another shot. So come back at Christmas, around Christmas, if it's still hurting. And I'm just like, dude, you leave us sitting here. You make us fill out 15 pages of paperwork, even though I am a current patient, which also was killing my shoulder. Just the act of writing, okay? And you're gonna bill my insurance after you spent literally like 60 seconds with me in total. And yeah, yeah, isn't that fraud? When you pretend to like perform a service and you tell people to come back at a certain time, even though you know there's nothing else you can do for them except, take their copay and bill their insurance for being there. Like, why make me come back? Like, okay, say I had done the physical therapy and that hadn't worked. What would he have said then? You know what I mean? Like, if there was nothing to do, just say, when I call about the appointment, there's nothing we can do until December for your shot, so you might as well just wait until then. But no, they want to get as many people in there as possible because this time of year their business slows down because there's not as many people getting elective surgeries like hip replacements, knee replacements, carpal tunnel, all that kind of orthopedic stuff. I mean, of course, we're not talking like accidents and things like that, of course, but they aren't doing it like that's not when they're going to schedule their surgeries for. Okay. And so they're just trying to pick up business, I think, here in the fall. And it's really pissing me off. And if any of you out there have any information, like, is this fraud? Like, can I report this doctor? Because I feel exceptionally like he just does not give a flying shit. And of course, no, well, here's the thing. I have an appointment there in like 2 weeks to get the injections in my knees for the first time in 2 years because that shot actually did work the second time I got it. The first time I got the one on my knees, it only worked for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then I had to go back a few months later and get another one before we went to Maui. And um yeah, I just want to be able to walk without pain, on vacation. And that one lasted like 2 years. Like, awesome. Well, it's probably been a little less than 2 years because they've been started hurting more over the summer, but I was stubborn and kept trying to like put it off. Because those fuckers hurt. They really do. The ones in the knees do. Um, yeah, anyway, what do you think? I'm not after the I cannot not get my knee injections in a couple weeks because it would take way longer to get another appointment with another uh osteo or sorry, orthopedic guy. Um, and I need those shots so that I can move for Thanksgiving and well, not Thanksgiving, it'll be after Thanksgiving, but at least for Christmas, I can be a little bit more mobile and a little less in pain so I can walk better for the holidays anyway. But after that, I am not going back. I am going to find another orthopedist to not am I saying I don't know why I keep saying that. Orthopedic. I'm sorry guys. I'm frazzled and it's been a long day already. And yeah, like I'm not going back after my next knee injections for sure. I will start the process of finding a new doctor. But what do you guys think? Is that legal? I mean, like just to, have people in there just to bill their insurance and basically not do anything? Like, don't waste my time. Don't waste my money. That's my point. It hurts. When I go out, I am in agony. Okay? From my feet to the top of my head, I hurt everywhere. And I'm doing everything I can to do better. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to quit smoking. I'm trying to do, more exercise, but I can't do those things if I can't fucking move. Do you understand at all what I'm talking about? Like, are any of you in the same boat? Because it would be really nice to know. I mean, not that I wish bad, that's kind of nonsense on you guys, but it would just be kind of nice to feel like my doctors, and it feels like it's a personal, like, there's like this aura around him with me. Like, he thinks that I don't know. There's a weird vibe, and I don't get it, but. Thank you for listening. I needed to vent, and maybe you guys can give me some advice or some, whatever. Because I'm just so freaking tired, y'all. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of hurting, and I'm tired of physicians that you pay a lot of money to help you, who treat you like you're just, oh, well, we don't know what it is, so, nothing we can do. And I have heard that from multiple doctors because they didn't have the skill, the knowledge, the whatever to freaking know who to send me to or what to do for me. And I'm sorry, but that's just not okay. If you don't know what to do, send me somewhere else. I mean, I have seen multiple rheumatologists, um, the orthopedic surgeons. I've seen cardiologists. I've seen what's the blood guy's name? God, my brain just went blank. But it's like a hematologist because of the blood clots. I've been to neurosurgeons for the cyst in my brain. I've seen every damn type of doctor there is. Oh, and guess what? Yeah, I gotta go get a freaking, I think I already said to you guys, I'm sorry, I'm so frazzled. Get a freaking biopsy now and on my head for, she, the rheumatologist lady, this morning, we walked in together. She looked at me and she's like, "What is that?" And she pointed at my head and I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "What is that mole?" And I'm like, "I don't know what mole. I've got several. But there's this little tiny, looks like a freckle on the very top of my forehead by my hairline. And it's been there for about 10 years or so. I don't really remember. Um, but she's like, "Yeah, it looks weird. It's very suspicious looking. I want you to have this biopsied." Before I had even sat down. Like, this woman never stops. I mean, she cares about you as a whole. And that is the difference where I went from that environment to this orthopedic guy who just could not get, if I dropped dead right then and there, I don't think he'd have given a shit. He'd just been like, "Oh, clean up on aisle 3, or lost another one." It's, I don't know, y'all. I really needed a vent, and I appreciate you listening. I'm sorry for being a downer, but that is just the way my day has gone. So, okay, guys, until next time, I'm not going to go through the whole spiel, but please be kind. Because I swear to Christ, if somebody had even looked at me funny at that moment, I probably would have gone right the fuck off and turned into a total Karen. Because, you know, you just don't know what people are dealing with. And it may sound stupid, but again, whenever $30 is the difference between a tank of gas to work or putting food on the table at dinner or paying into some doctor who's just there to cheat the system, I would much rather put food on my kid's table and cut gas in the car for my husband to get to his work. So, all right, guys, until next time, be kind. Bye.